It's the time for the airports across the country to be busy. We've also highlighted the situations around the airport, and Mr. Odibo also talked about the Port Harcourt International Airport. Rising airfare price is our focus this morning, and Olumide Ohunayo joins us. He's an aviation analyst. Good morning.
Good morning.
A whole lot happening in our airports, and many wondered what exactly this is about. I recall some couple of years ago we had you here, and some of the issues we talked about, how to help this sector, and it would seem as if we were moving in that direction. But this is almost getting to 2017. Many Nigerians wondered what exactly is happening. We've seen airline operators come in, go out. It would seem again as if that kind of business is not lucrative. Tell us your findings into all of the happenings around the aviation sector.
To say the airline industry is not lucrative is not the norm, because if you look at the IATA report, Europe, South America, even the North America, and then the Middle East airlines declared profit. Ethiopia Airlines has continued, is in Africa here, has continued to declare profits consistently in the past 16, 17 years. But coming down to Nigeria and most of Africa, it's negative and red flag. And if you look at it, the first thing everybody runs to is aviation fuel. That's because of aviation fuel. But that alone does not determine the poor performance of the airline. Your system, your processes, and your governance structure are one of those key things that bring them down.
Systemic processes, governance structures are the key things. So aviation fuel has little or nothing to do with it, because I do know we had a private conversation with an airline operator who talked about the fact that there's no profit in the airline business in Nigeria. You say it's the processes. Tell us more about that, the processes.
The process system and governance structure put in place by respective airlines, that's what brings them down. Yes, when it comes to the cost structure, aviation fuel is part of it. It takes about 30 to 40%. And it's the responsibility of the airline to plan for your aviation fuel supply for your operations throughout the year and beyond. It's supposed to be part of your budget and planning. But you see, why we run into the crisis here is because our airlines have run out their financial credibility with these fuel supplies. And most times you see it's not a cash and carry basis, and there's virtually no policy in place, such as hedging, to buy or keep fuel ahead for them. Now, if you watch other airlines, what do they have? Some have formed groupings, and in the groupings they buy fuel in bulk. And when they buy in bulk, the price drops. But if you look at us, none of our airlines, any of the commercial groupings, and none of them has any partnership. So all are standalone. Even under the AON, you would have expected that, okay, the airlines will come together and do a bulk purchase. But to do that, you need to have some funds in place to put for supply. But what I've seen that almost all do not have any fund left for aviation fuel supply. So what you see is because of the lack of credibility, they all buy cash and carry. And that's why when there's a little jolt in the market, everybody panics. And the first thing they do is to run on there and say, due to aviation fuel scarcity, we're going to cancel flights. We're going to delay flight. The process of having aviation fuel for operations for the year is the responsibility of the carriers, and you must plan ahead for it.
You were talking about hedging.
Yes.
Who should do the hedging?
The airline itself.
The airline itself.
Yes.
Shouldn't there be some kind of government policy to help the airline stay afloat?
Well, whatever policy that will be in place is for let's take from this. The aviation fuel is deregulated, and because it's deregulated, that gives power to the airlines to negotiate with the service with the oil marketers. But somehow, somewhere along the line, due to the inability of the airlines to come together, due to the inability of the airlines to speak with one voice, due to the inability of the airlines to show that we can get this, we can do this through another means, putting pressure on the operators. The operators of the airlines being the cartel, it is the operators around the cartel. So the aviation fuel is rather than being deregulated, has become regulated by the cartel. Now with the regulation, this is where the government can now come in. What can we do? Now they've announced, if you notice recently, NNPC announced they're supplying some fuel now that will last for 26 days. which sometime at the end of January next year, sometime toward the end of January next year. And that is a stopgap. Now they plan to start producing aviation fuel from the refineries in Port Harcourt and Kaduna. Good deal. But I think some of these will have been done earlier. And like I said, the airlines have a duty of ensuring they provide alternate actions, alternate positions to the marketers and to the government on this.
Let's bring Mark in.
Well, listening to you, first of all, monitoring what's happening outside the shores of this country. Yes, you talked about airlines that have always declared profit, but they always talk about very thin profit margins. And you also hear the European airlines complaining, European and American airlines complaining of unfair advantage that the Emirati airlines do have. So that conversation is there. But let's coming back home now. How difficult, aside this scarcity of aviation fuel or not, how difficult would you say that the business environment has been for these airline operators?
Well, if you look at the infrastructure in place, yes, that is not it's not good enough. It's not the adequacy and it's efficient operations. It's not enough good enough for the carriers. I look at the infrastructure and I look at the policy, the support from the government by providing a market. Well, and when I say market, it's not by providing that travel, that critical travel of government, charter and public travels beyond Nigerian shores. That should have been given to them as a kind of a support that is not there. And again, when funds come in, when funds are supposed that are meant for the industry comes in, you find out that the first priority is the bank that has given them loans, and somewhere along the line, instead of going into the airport operations, it goes to settle the liabilities to the banks. And again, I think the most critical one that I feel is not making things work out well is that the regulator has taken so much emphasis on safety and left the economic regulation. It is the economic regulation that is coming back now to haunt our airlines, and I just pray it doesn't creep into safety.